Hey, what's up, you guys? Hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to kind of check in with everybody and see how everybody's doing today. And maybe you can come along with me. Wanted to show you what's going on in the garden and talk about some other stuff. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome. I am Jeremy with Fleetwood Patch. Hey, do me a favor, will you? See that little bell icon at the bottom there? Will you go ahead and click it? Click the like and subscribe, guys. We'd really appreciate it. I promise not to blow up your phone too much. Well, here we are near the end of June. Can you believe it already? We're approaching 4th of July, guys. Can't believe it. Just wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. How's your little slice of heaven doing with your garden? Comment below. I like to hear how everybody's doing and just talk about what we do in our gardens. It's kind of a hobby of mine. I've seen some really awesome gardens from you guys. I've been going on and watching a lot of channels and seeing what everybody's up to, and there's some really good stuff going on. I feel like it's been a really good year so far. Luckily, we're in the area where there's not cicadas. We're at 6,500 feet above sea level. Have you guys had cicadas at all this year? Are you drowning in them? Have you seen some? None at all? Just kind of curious about that. I'm kind of glad I don't get them here. I know they're harmless, but I've been hearing stories about them flying all over people's faces and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't for me. I kind of feel like this time of year is like an awakening in a way. We have so many days of sunshine here, but we really don't get a lot of days for growing. To be honest, we probably get about 90 to maybe 100 days. So really the growing season here isn't very long. So when it is here, yeah, it's just something about it that just kind of makes you come alive, to walk out there and to see all that new growth and to see things flourishing, to see a flower out in a garden. You know, there's just something about it that just really gives you a good pick-me-up. You know, for the first time since I've lived here, I can finally say it. I wish I had more land. I really wish I had more land, because there's so much more that I want to grow. There's a part of me that really wants to be able to really try out the homesteading thing. But I also like the convenience of being in the city as well. If you can call this city, it's really a suburb, but I don't know. We're hoping one day we'll be able to get out and find something where we can get more land and really see what we can do, really challenge ourselves. But for now, we're gonna grow what we can. All right, enough chat. Let's get outside. I'll show you what we got going on. It's actually been really hot and dry lately around here, and by hot I mean like 90 plus, which is a little off for Colorado being that hot for that long. Thankfully, we've been getting we got rain about 3 or 4 different times yesterday, like a good amount of rain to really soak in the ground, which I am super thankful for, because these plants really need a good deep watering. So hoping this will really kind of kickstart them into really going. But let me show you what we got so far. So here we have the spearmint. We've already harvested quite a bit off this, and it just keeps producing, which is pretty cool. We're definitely going to be using a lot of spearmint for tea And this is our Thai basil that we did from seed. Coming up pretty good, very, very fragrant. Tea garden, coming along good. The ashwagandha, we actually have flowers. If I zoom in there, you can see we have flowers coming out, which bees absolutely love those. I love watching the bees go to those. Chamomile, we're trying to get that to get going. It looks like it's finally starting to go. But tea garden, definitely a good idea this year. Check out the catnip and the dill. Definitely coming up nice. And I think this is probably the best year we've ever had for snapdragons. I don't ever remember them spreading out this much. But they are doing fantastic this year. Holy basil. This thing grows like a weed now. I absolutely love looking at it. Guys, I think whatever method I decided to use for the tomatoes this year, it's working and then some. I've never had tomatoes look this lush for this long and look this fantastic. So I am definitely looking forward to harvesting some of these lovely, lovely sauce tomatoes. So they're kind of mixed in. So I do have Amish paste ones up front here. This is a beefsteak tomato that is purely for my dad. I told him I'd plant one for him this year. I got some San Marzanos in here, and somewhere mixed in here there are a couple Opalkas. But yeah, we're not really sliced tomato people. We're more of like a sauce. We like to do tomato sauces, salsas and stuff. So, but man, happy with the results so far. It did hail yesterday, and this held up like a champ, protected them really good. Definitely glad I put this up this year. I see you, little banana pepper. So we did have one that was peeking out earlier, and I got a little piece of advice on here on YouTube. Someone said go ahead and pick that one, and it's gonna kind of make it produce even more, and it definitely is. I can see quite a few starting to come in now, but hoping for a good harvest, because I've never really been able to grow peppers here before, you guys. So I'm trying this out this year, and I'm gonna see how it does. And here's the glass gem corn. It's doing great, doing really good. I'm just so excited to see the different colors in this, because we can already see in some of them little bits of purple in the leaf. In fact, I think if you kind of zoom in here, yeah, a little bit of purple on here. Kind of neat to watch. And then we got our green beans here, the Walla Walla onions. Potatoes are starting to bloom, which is fantastic. We're starting to see little hints, little tiny hints of maybe part of it starting to die off. So I'm wondering if that means that there's maybe potatoes starting to form, or that it's just been that dry. But again, we had rain a lot yesterday, so hopefully that's going to soak it all in. Either way though, I think this is doing really well, and I'm very satisfied with it. The flowers on these things are just so cool. Hello, newbie ladies. How you doing? They've been doing really well. They're actually starting to get a little more of a comb, which is awesome. I think we're probably going to start seeing them lay August. We got them in March, mid-March, so I'm thinking probably August. It's a black copper Morans and cream leg bar, so I know they don't really start off as early layers. They're kind of later, so, but hoping to get some pretty good eggs out of them. So it should be the dark chocolate eggs and like a sky blue egg out of this lovely gal right here with her lovely tuft of hair up top there. I love that. That's so cool. So I actually put corn back here. If you look closely, gosh, that's a lot of mushrooms. I think that's a pretty good sign. But there's a bunch of corn back there. I don't know if it's going to mature in time or not, to be honest with you. I'm kind of doubting it just because, you know, we're in the later part of June, and normally, what do they say, knee high by 4th of July. But we'll see. This is actually just sweet corn, so it's about a 90-day crop. But we'll see how it goes. The squash, which is the pumpkins and the butternut squash. I'm sorry, honey nut squash, butternut. Honey nut, which is different, you guys. It is darker in color and is actually more of a sweet flavor. But they're all doing really good. So glad I put this up. We got hail yesterday, and it did tear a few things up, but these things are pretty well protected now. Here's kind of a side view of the tea garden. So we got a lot of echinacea. We have the raspberries back there. Hi. Slowly but surely, though, it's starting to fill in. I started throwing clover out in the lawn last year, and we're starting to see a lot of flowers coming up, a lot of good clover. There's a good patch over here. Excuse me. But love the clover because in the summertime we just come out here and pick it, and guess who we give it to? They absolutely love clover. I mean, it's like the best thing they've ever had to them. I don't know what it is, but they love clover. Absolutely love it. And again, it's free food. You're getting them greens from just what you're growing in your lawn, you know? Good stuff. Limes are looking pretty good. This thing really has gotten a lot of new growth since we put it outside. Just to kind of give you an idea here. That was not here when we moved it out. This is all new. Something about moving it outside just really kick-started it. And really started getting it blooming a lot more too. So hoping for some really good, this is a mini key lime tree, by the way, if you're wondering what this is. Really hoping we get some great limes out of this. So I've really been trying to stay busy in the garden, trying to take my mind off of things. Yeah, I actually have one thing coming up that I'm a little worried about. If I can open up here a little bit to you guys. So I have two sons from a previous marriage, and both of them are on the autism spectrum. They are actually going to Hawaii this weekend, which is awesome. I mean, for kids to be able to go to Hawaii, I think it's fantastic. I'm very worried about my youngest being on a plane for that long. I don't know how that's going to go. My oldest, I think, is good to go. He's been on a plane before. He flew to New York and did a concert, so I mean, he's experienced it. But my youngest, never been on a plane, and being on a plane for, gosh, 2 hours to one place and then do a layover, and probably, I'm sure, about 5-hour flight to Hawaii. It was a long time, so a little worried about that. So I'm just trying to keep myself busy out here, trying not to think about it too much, but I'm sure it's going to be fine one way or another. Not worried about the plane doing anything, because I know people fly there all the time. Just worried about meltdowns and things like that. Those of you on here who might have children or might know somebody with children on the spectrum, you know that it can get a little dicey sometimes if they're put in a situation that makes them uncomfortable. So definitely trying to keep busy out here so I can keep my mind off of it. Anyway, you guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Leave a like, and even more so, subscribe. I see you guys on here that are watching and not subscribing. I know who you are. Leave a like and subscribe, guys. We really would appreciate it. As always, this is Jeremy with Fleetwood Patch saying, you got this. Have a great weekend, guys.